Okay, hello. I believe I'm now live. Happy Friday to all. This is Jen Lillian in the Soul Central group, and today I have the lovely, that sounded very northern, the lovely Moira. How are you doing, Moira, today?
Thank you, Jen. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no worries. So every Friday I get to basically collaborate with the best people I think are just doing amazing things in this sort of space every Friday at 12 o'clock. So today we're actually going to be talking about, I think I've just gone live now, and that's Facebook for you. Always the way. I'm going to start again. So hello everyone, happy Friday. This is Jen Lillian and welcome to the Soul Central Facebook group. I go live every single Friday at 12 o'clock and I collaborate with the best thought leaders I believe are absolutely killing it in this space when it comes to anything ancestral blocks, anything that you can't quite overcome in your business, anything that might to do with like any past life. But this is a lovely Moira. How are you doing today, Moira?
Very well, thank you, Jen.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm just going to scroll down on this page because for some reason I've just lost my notes for today. So excuse me there. Fantastic. We're basically going to be discovering how to shift ancestral blocks that are making an impact on your business. So if you don't know too much about this Soul Central group, and maybe even me, maybe you've just joined, all together this week, you're brand new to this area, then welcome. My name, as mentioned, is Jen, and I have been in business since 2012, and I've had many highs and many lows as an online and offline coach. I started my offline business journey back in Shanghai, China, in 2012, and through running offline businesses, I experienced the nasties of business when it came to business burnout. So I've learned the hard way when it comes to basically handling stress and obviously learning systems that I think are very essential to be placed into your business when it comes to lead generation. But not only that, I also have learned over the years, mindset plays a massive, massive part in your business. And I believe once you have the right mindset, everything else falls into place as well. And myself and Moira, we've been working together now for a few months, I believe. Is that right, Moira? Yeah, and I feel like the right people and team around you is essential in order to get business results, because it could be that you are an online coach right now and you were just like struggling with something in your business. Maybe you already have a lead and client generation system in your business. Maybe you've been in business for many years, but you're still not breaking through a particular goal that you have, or maybe you just don't know exactly what to do in your business. Now, when I sort of came out of my COVID coma, as it were, I changed my niche, and now I work with these awesome spiritual coaches. And each coach I have in the Soul Central group has touched me and my business and my heart in so many ways. And this is my way of paying back, to basically invite you to sit with us for half an hour and to talk with people like Moira about how you can use alternative methods in order to overcome certain things in your business. So I never even knew, like a few years ago, that there could be some like ancestral blocks that could be getting in my way when it comes to operating my business. So if you are maybe struggling with something quite big and heavy, then Moira for sure can help you push through. And we're going to go through some questions, some common questions that I feel come around Moira's area of work when it comes to high self and powerful healing techniques. And also, Moira, you have a fantastic gift that we're going to be talking about towards the end of our chat today. But Moira, over to you. Like, who are you exactly? What's your story? We'd love to hear more from you.
Thank you, Jen. So I guess I started my spiritual journey unknowingly when I was 12, and I read a book on reincarnation. I just remembered today actually that I had my first medium reading when I was about 17. So yeah, and it was really enlightening. I didn't have a reading again for a while, I don't think. But when I left college to university last year, it all went peaked on wrong, and just nightmare. Left, moved to Brighton. And I had quite a lot of self-confidence issues at the time, but I didn't really realise at the time. And then a little while into moving into Brighton and having this new life and away from home and having no parents telling you what to do and all that kind of thing, the freedom of it, but also having to look after yourself financially, mentally, physically, emotionally. I then started feeling a bit strange, and I just knew that something in my spirit was calling me to do something, to take action, but I didn't really know what it was. And I knew that if I stayed living with my then partner and his friends for some reason, even though I had no reason to move out really, I knew that I was going to go through a really tough time. And of course, I didn't move out because I just moved out from home. I was trying to start up a new life. And then I did end up going through the darkest night for a couple of years. So that was really horrible place to be. And most people that I've spoken to have gone through some level of darkest nights. Some people would call it depression, but this was really like my soul calling me, saying, come on, wake up, I want you to do something. And then luckily, a friend of mine who wasn't that spiritual at the time said, I booked you into, I guess it's like a psychic fair. So I went to this fair, I spoke to a lady who was talking about the darkest night, and it was just like this kind of like moment of, oh my goodness, it's not just me, this is, can be quite common. And also the fact that you can actually have tools to help yourself. And I met this lovely lady called Letty who had a crystal stand, and she gave me a crystal to hold. And when I held the crystal, that was then, it was just an enlightening moment, if you like, where it kind of ricocheted through over the next few days, months, and then years. I then started collecting crystals, working with crystals. I ended up then doing her course when I was 25. I did her diploma course on crystal healing and therapy. It was a very in-depth course as well, which was amazing. We studied anatomy and physiology. We did meridian points of clearing. And that just really, really started me off on this amazing journey. And that has helped me through, relationship breakups that then happened, etc. All sorts of like darkest night that you could call darkest nights. They're kind of waves like this, but being a starseed or being a sensitive, I don't know anyone that's a starseed or sensitive who has not gone through quite rough times in order to then be able to come through it, get the tools, and then be able to help others. So what I then did was I had like a part-time job just in customer services. Customer services seemed to be my thing, but I've always also done the healing as well. I don't do the customer services now, but I've always been into teaching and training people. So I teach like crystal sensing. I've also done theta healing, vortex healing, and then more recently channeling. So this is freestyle channeling. It's quite shamanic with the cosmic medicine wheel. And then I activated my Merkaba with a lovely Catherine Tack. And once I activated that, I then went on to learn how to read the Akashic records. I now teach the Merkaba, so helping people to activate their light body, which is their spiritual body or spiritual gifts, and also the Akashic records as well. So I've basically combined now all of those things into a very special gift, a very unique gift, which is really, really deep, full-on healing for anyone that comes to me. So it's been a really amazing journey, but obviously with the ups and downs, but it has kept me at an even keel, just having, the crystals, having mentors and guides that I found later on. It would be lovely if we were all kind of born with a physical guide saying, that's okay, if this is what you're going through, I can help you. But that's kind of my mission, is to help other people, whether they're already, quite awakened or not. I can kind of help them to see, right, what's the issue? Let's clear it. Let's go really, really deep. And then they can just be their best selves, basically.
That's amazing, Moira. I mean, I do believe, as you just mentioned, that highs and lows are needed, because now you can give back, because you've got so much experience of going through those challenging times. And I think it's great that you and I found each other in each other's lives, and we're trying to create a space that is safe in order to share and be very transparent, should you want to anyway. But because we are all just human, we're all in this together, and we all have a different experience of these highs and lows. And sometimes that's really, really hard to navigate through. I mean, as you just like quite rightly put, I think most people who are starseeds have been through these dark nights. And for sure, if I was at that point again in my life, I know now who I can contact and reach out to. But before, I didn't know anyone like yourself, or what this line of work could actually do in order to help me get through that type of stress and burnout and depression. I actually put it down to, at the time, it was just because of not having a very sustained business in terms of a lead and client generation. And that obviously helps. To have a system in your business that generates leads and clients is obviously a very stress-free way of running a business. But it obviously went deeper than that, for sure. Once I've actually met people like yourself in my circle, I'm like, okay. So what I'm trying to say to those who are listening today, if you are struggling with, like, maybe as Moira's putting it right now, that the dark night of your soul, then don't feel afraid, don't feel like you're on your own. Feel free to reach out, because sometimes everyone's experience and journeys are different, but you don't have to go it alone, because actually it's quite a common up and down experience to go through. The actual ins and outs are very different, unique to that person, but there's a lot more people out there going through that sort of stuff. In this circle, we're just starting to sprout out even more now, aren't we? Becoming more and more acceptable to talk about this sort of stuff, because to try and articulate it to a doctor that you feel depressed and you don't know why, in my experience, that's quite a hard conversation to have. However, people like yourself, well, you know, you can welcome anyone with big welcoming arms, because you've been through it and you just get it. You don't have to explain why you feel shit. Excuse my language there, but it is a common journey that we can sort of go through from time to time as a growing part of our journey. So yeah, thanks, Moira, for that. So there are many usual questions when it comes to higher self, because you work with your higher self a lot, and you encourage your clients to work with their higher self. So how would you describe what is your higher self to the audience who may not even know really what the higher self is? And how would you suggest they connect to their higher self in order to help them with their day-to-day and their business?
Yeah, so your higher self is the body of the home for your soul, and your higher self is your soul's consciousness. Your higher self knows everything. It has been with you every lifetime, between lifetimes, and it knows your soul's blueprint, or what some people would now call gold print. And it can help you if you can contact your higher self to put you in the right place at the right time, bring the right people to you. And the more that you clear yourself, and the more that you're in contact with it, the more that you can raise your frequency and bring in all sorts of wonderful things into your life. So one of the things that I do is I meditate, and I teach people how to meditate with crystals. And it's a really quick and easy way of just tuning into a crystal and asking your higher self, you know, once you're in a beautiful meditative state, you always clear ground and protect yourself first. I was calling the angels and Archangel Michael, Lord Metatron, to come in and just keep the space safe. I always ground myself, and then I open up my chakras, sense the crystal, and then once I'm in that lovely meditative space, I either ask the crystal a question or my higher self a question as well. But one of the really good methods to do is, and I teach this as well, when I'm teaching the Merkaba, because people have to we go through programs when I activate someone's Merkaba, and Catherine has taught me how to do so. And for that one, you actually ask higher self, show me yes, no, or neutral when you ask a question. So that's a really, really good way to train yourself how to do that. So for example, the first time I did it, for people who are having, who are finding it a bit harder, we actually teach how to connect with your higher self. But if not, there's actually a page that's free. It's a 45-day practice that you can do. But I found that when I was first contacting my higher self, that I would just sit very, very quietly. I've obviously done that whole clearing, grounding, protecting. I've opened up my chakras, and I take people through how to do that. And then I'd say something like, to say this is to do with the Merkaba, but I program my Merkaba to clear any negative energy from me, any negative EMFs, any negative situations, that kind of thing. And then I'd say, higher self, show me yes, no, or maybe, or neutral. And then you go into your body, and I, although I'm very visual for this one, I get my eyes kind of blink when it's a yes, they go sideways if it's a no, and they kind of go round if it's a maybe. Or if it's a visual one, it's a red tick. Don't know why it's a red tick for a yes. In fact, no, sorry, it's a green tick for yes, a red cross for no, and for maybe it's just a wavy line. But generally, for me, it's a physical kind of reaction that I have. And once you start doing that and you start practicing it, you start getting a lot more confidence with it as well. But I would say that when you're in a very deep meditative state, that is also a time when you can then very much communicate with your higher self. You can also ask your higher self and your angels daily. You can say, higher self, help me with this situation with so and so, or help me find the best workplace for me to work out, the best home. And your higher self will just come in and will just start helping you, and you will start really noticing, even if it's a slight difference to begin with, subtle, you will start then, noticing your higher self working with you, and especially your angels as well, because you actually have to ask them to come and help you, because they, you've got free will at the end of the day, but they will start helping you with situations. You can say, angels of light or angels of love, bring some light to this situation. Higher self, show me what is the best option for me to move forward. So quite often, I've obviously worked in the Akashic records as well, and I can access my Akashic records, other people's as well. But if I haven't got the time, I'll just do a quick question for my higher self. Higher self, is this the right thing for me to do today? Is this the best thing for me to do today? Show me yes, no, or neutral. And it's just practice and just getting used to, and your confidence,
Yeah, again, Moira, yeah, that is all fantastic stuff. I mean, again, I can sit here and ask, where were you a few years ago, Moira? I really needed you, just to let me know there is a higher self. I do tend to find that online coaches in particular, we're very logical in our way of thinking, because we're doers, we like to get things done, we're on a mission to help others. But sometimes, depending on your upbringing and your culture or religion, possibly, you wouldn't know about calling upon angels, you wouldn't know about your higher self, you wouldn't know about these extra tools that you can have in your business toolkit in order to get through a decision you need to make for work, or whether you need to continue working with a client, or how to maybe move forward or push through a project. Since I've introduced work with my higher self in my business, and just general day-to-day things, like things have really just like changed, and I stumbled across this probably because I was, waking up, as it were. But back in my old China days, I didn't know anything about this work. So it's really, really great and positive. And I mean, I'm sure you can agree that everyone is different. So I'm sure with your clients, you do take that person through the different ways they can connect. I mean, for example, I tend to stand up, and then I ask my higher self, and I'll sway. So it's yes if I'm swaying forward, and no when I'm swaying back, and in the middle it's just, I don't really rock forward or back, I'm just like in the middle somewhere. So that's how I work my higher self. And like you say, you can either be you can either connect through a visual way of doing things, or you can feel that sensation. So, but again, it's with practice, right, as you mentioned.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's also a good way. I do the swaying method sometimes as well, and that I find quite foolproof, because you need to trust yourself, basically, and you need to start with very obvious questions, is my name Moira, is my name Sandra, that kind of thing, and then you can start really getting into it. But the swaying method's very, very good method, I find, as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So you offer many powerful healing techniques, but what would you say is like the best one that you would advise for example, online coaches in this space?
So online coach, especially for people that are more spiritually aware, so spiritual seekers, wisdom seekers, I would recommend it's channeled healing. It also combines Akashic records. So I will go into the person's Akashic records, open them up. We go through the issue as well. What is the deepest issue? I will find out from the record keepers and guides, from my guides, from their guides, what is the deep core issue that we're looking at here. So a lot of them is to do with business or their life or whatever. They could actually be generally quite happy, but this block just stops them from moving forward in their life, whether it's relationship, work, happiness. It tends to kind of be most of those things, to be fair. And normally I recommend 3 sessions, and we can go really, really deep in those 3 sessions. And I'm normally shown, I see them basically as their higher self template. So we work on their higher self template, their sovereign selves, their higher selves. And I then go into past lives or ancestral blocks that are literally just blocking them today. So once we are able to clear that, heal it, we then send that beautiful quantum healing all the way through, and also through the ancestral line as well, to the person. I also bring in theta healing as well. So we're changing core beliefs, we're bringing in new beliefs, new feelings. So it's a very thorough way of working, because I use several different modalities. And I also use, as I said, the cosmic medicine wheel. So I bring in the spirit animals. And it literally, it's just amazing just to watch, because I'm very, with my eyes closed, when I'm working like this, I'm very clairvoyant. And it just plays out like this most amazing film with these beautiful colours. And they always have some kind of outfit that they're wearing at the end, where they're in their power. And then we do a meditation. I do a specific meditation with them that they do for 3 weeks, just to reprogram the mind, basically, so that it's just going to keep giving them this new photon energy, photonic energy that is going to shift them in a really big way. So that one is the one that I would recommend for people who are already spiritual. There's probably had a lot of healing. I work with a lot of healers who are blocked. So they're brilliant healers. They're lovely, lovely people. But somehow they're scared of their power, a lot of them. And this is because, and this has happened with many, many people, because so many past lives, us healers have been condemned, we've been killed, burnt, whatever, so why would you in this lifetime come in going, yay, I'm just going to go and shout out about my healing work, whereas this lifetime, we have been told that this is the time that we've been waiting for to come in and really, really heal. So tons of the people I'm working with, it's like those final deep issues that they just haven't been able to kind of get hold of all of this time and all their searching, all their healing, and then we can just shift it and they can then just go for it, And then the Merkaba activation as well is, I think, goes really, really hand in hand with the channeling, because that activates their light body, brings in all those spiritual gifts, which were shut down at the fall of Atlantis. So we've not had that for thousands and thousands of years, and now we have access to it. So pretty much any spiritual person that I know, I just go, I wish everyone could just be taught how to activate the Merkaba. And you've had your Merkaba activated as well, haven't you?
Yes.
And I find those two, the channeling and the Merkaba activation, wow is all I can say to what happens with people. Like there was a lovely just a little line, wasn't there, a testimonial from one of the men that I've worked with recently. He said, my life is 10 times since working with Moira. And it's so true. It's so true. And it's a real honour and a real pleasure for me to work with people where it just has this amazing effect, because that's kind of what I love doing.
Yeah. And you can really tell as well, Moira. So like the people in this space are spiritually aware to a certain point, but I find for you are like the advanced version of being spiritual, because there's some stuff that you've spoken about, and I'm just hanging off your every word going, I've never heard that before, but somehow that just makes so much sense. It's obviously coming from another area of knowing from within me, because we're all on the path together, aren't we? We're just all at different stages, but it just seems like I never question your skills, your ability, your knowledge in this stuff, because somehow for me anyway, it just makes sense. So I have had the pleasure of sitting with Moira during one of your awesome channeling sessions, and it was really, really enjoyable. I learned so much about myself, and again, I do find you very interesting for sure, because it just opens up my mind to even more possibilities. Like I've never worked with, for example, spirit animals before, and it might be that you might be curious about that yourself as a viewer watching in. So you do have so much to offer, for sure. Would you say, Moira, there's like common ancestral blocks that may come through with your clients? Any examples, maybe?
I'd say, well, the ones I've been working with recently, it tends to be ones where they have felt very, very unloved and also abused, kind of thing. So killed off, that kind of thing. Just trying to think of exact examples, because they're quite different. But one of them was a child that was just abandoned. So you can imagine what that abandonment would do for you in this lifetime. You just never feel safe, never trust anyone, that kind of thing, of like just what's going to happen next. Am I safe right now? This other person killed off a couple of lifetimes for being themselves. So all about not being allowed to be in your power, not being allowed to be yourself, and just being miserable. So I always go to the core, the seed point of creation in a past life, whether it's their past life or ancestral. It's like it's their past life when we're clearing it. And when you clear that seed point, then it has that knock-on effect through all space and time. You're basically clearing it. But it's nasty ones, if you know what I mean. It's not normally like I had a bit of a spat with so-and-so, and that's why I'm a little bit funny about expressing myself. They're really deep, cool ones.
Yeah, very, very much so. I can only imagine. And again, if you are an online coach and you struggle with your business, let's say you've invested into a program and you always are like the last one to get the results that all the other, participants in this group always seem to get before you. It may not be your abilities for your business. It's probably because you've got something deeper going on. And most people who have joined this group have had the Successful Six-Figure Soul online portal. I take you through the 9 steps to start building, growing online coaching business to success. But the second step is building an unshakable mindset. So I obviously offer a very surface level introduction into mindset, but this is why I work with particular thought leaders like yourself, Moira, because it could be that you have everything in place to create your successful online coaching business, but you have no idea about the deep stuff. And this is why I collaborate with, you know, the right people, because that's where I was in my online coaching business before I went into this COVID coma, as I mentioned at the start of this. I sort of came out going, I need to change my niche. I've gone from health, fitness and wellness specialists to now spiritual coaches, because I feel like you guys are here on this planet right now to make a change in the world. And I'm here to help you with your online lead client acquisition system. But we all need a helping hand as well with the deeper stuff. You know, you mentioned earlier, Moira, you help healers heal themselves, even though they're fantastic healers, but you can't seem to do everything. And there is that same with doctors, right? Doctors can go and prescribe this, that, whatever, but they don't always take on their own advice, or they can't quite see what is going on in front of them, you know, because they're actually involved. So again, your work is so precious to me. I think it's so valuable for this space and to the world. And I think it's just great stuff. Keep it going, Moira. I think it's amazing. So you were part of the awesome Soul Central Summits that we held, I think, was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? Yeah, time's just flown since then. But you're one of the, it was a great 6 hours. Our first one, we'll definitely do it again next year. And you were one of the 8 coaches, and you offered a fantastic gift. And there will be details and the link that you can follow attached to this particular post. But it is that Bespoke Channeled Healing coaching session that you spoke about earlier. So I don't know if you want to add any more to that, Moira. If people would like to maybe, you know, sign up to you, what can they expect?
So this one is like, it's like a taster, because normally I would work with someone, really go to the core issue, etc., etc. So we kind of want to, on the first one, if it's the first time I'm meeting someone, I want to give them a taste, but I would be opening up their Akashic record. So we'd be bringing in their guides and guardians, and maybe even family members as well, and having a look and just seeing what can we do for today. I can also obviously ask as well, what is the core issue? And I can give them also, we can give them a beautiful, beautiful guided meditation that's specific for them from their guides and guardians, and any healing that we can bring in, even in that half an hour, we will bring that in as well. So they can come away having had a beautiful mini healing, but also get a taste of what it's like to work with me, and also, you know, obviously connect with their guides and guardians, which is amazing. I love being able to help people connect with their guides and guardians. They're always just like, oh, it's so lovely.
Yeah.
It's just like really honouring, you know.
And you create such a lovely space. Like, we're all busy as online coaches. We're all busy with the family stuff as well, and life in general, still going through the pandemic. And it's just a great way, I think, guys, for those who are listening, just to have space for yourself for half an hour. And I couldn't think of a better person than for you to spend half an hour with Moira. If you're just still getting used to this stuff, or you're new to this stuff, you just have even some curiosity around what Moira does in terms of her healing practices, then feel free just to reach out, hit the link, and just have a nice, pleasant half an hour with Moira and see where things can take you and go from there. Excellent. Okay, cool. Do you know what, Moira? We are nearly literally half an hour up. It's gone so quick today.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Yeah, fantastic. So again, thanks ever so much for your time, Moira. It's been amazing. Again, everyone who's been listening in, or also if you are watching the replay, there will be the relevant links tagged to either this post. I'll be sending an email if you are involved in my email list. We'll also put this onto YouTube as well, my channel, and also Moira's channel. All the information of Moira's website will be tagged along to the particular places as well, so you won't miss out on any of the links we have for you, and the free gift that Moira has. Again, that's that Bespoke Channeled Healing and Coaching session. And yeah, again, brilliant, Moira. Thanks so much. Have you got any closing comments to make?
Thank you very much. No, thank you so much. That was lovely.
Excellent. All right, then. I'm going to say goodbye now, and maybe we can stay on, Moira. We'll have a little chat after. Excellent. Well, thanks, everyone. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend, and I will see you next week. See you. Bye.